Hello and welcome to the Edmondson Home Music Studio. Almost every country in this world has their own national anthem. The national anthem of the United States of America is the Star-Spangled Banner. Today I will be reading a picture book to you with illustrations that depict the lyrics of the Star-Spangled Banner, but I also want to tell you the story and a little bit of history about the Star-Spangled Banner. The Star-Spangled Banner began as a poem written by Francis Scott Key. The music was composed by John Stafford Smith. And whenever you look at a piece of music, the name on the left is always the person who wrote the lyrics. The name on the right is the person who composed the music. Now, these two men never met. They never met at all. It was in the War of 1812 when the country of England, or Britain, was attacking our country here, the United States. And Francis Scott Key was captured. He was captured. He was on board an enemy warship, an English ship, and he was an American. So the British were attacking Fort McHenry, which is a wooden fort, and it is in the state of Maryland. So Francis Scott Key was on board the ship, looking across the harbor at the fort. And do you know what he was looking for? He was looking to see what flag was flying above the fort, because if it was our American flag with the stars and stripes, that meant that the British had not captured the fort and that we were winning. If our flag had been lowered and the British flag had been raised, well, then we were in trouble. So he was on board this enemy warship, and he thought, I might as well write down what's happening. And he wrote it down in the form of a poem. And the first line is a question, and the last line is a question. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? That's a question. What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? That means, can you still see the flag? We hailed it last night. Is it still there? Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. What does perilous mean? Treacherous, dangerous, a perilous fight. Or the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. What's a rampart? The wall of the fort. So over the rampart, we could see the flag streaming. That's when the flag billows in the air like this. Can you do that with your hand? So far we have, oh say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. That means every time a bomb would burst in the air, it would light up the sky for a split second, just like lightning. You know how at night it can be totally dark, and then if there's a bolt of lightning, all of a sudden the sky lights up? That's what the bombs did, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air. And it proved, at that split second, it proved that the flag was still flying above Fort McHenry. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? It sure does. Where do you see the flags flying? Oh, let's think about town. If you were to take a walk downtown, where would you see a flag flying? Well, first of all, let's start with our school. In front of our schools, in the classrooms, where else? Post office, good. Excuse me. I got too excited. library, at the Y, all these places. The lighthouse, good, in front of our town hall and municipal buildings. Yes, the fire station and the police station, good. I think we're ready to start our book. This book, The Star-Spangled Banner, was illustrated by Peter Spear. And if I go too fast, you can pause this video at any time. This book is wonderful. It starts off with a collection of flags of the American Revolution and those of the United States of America and those of its government and its armed forces. And did you know that our country has this many flags? And even more, each state has its own flag. The state of Maine, of course, says "Dare Go" in the center of it, which means I lead. Now, each illustration in this book has the flag somewhere on the picture. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Do you remember who was on board this ship? Francis Scott Key. What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming. Do you see the flag? There it is. Could you imagine climbing those tall masts on a ship? Oh, and look at all the cannon firing and oh. And you know, at the beginning, oh, say, can you see? He was having trouble seeing. Remember, this was very early in the morning, at dawn. And so the sun wasn't quite up, and with all the smoky air caused by the cannons and the gunfire, that made it really difficult to see. And he was looking for the flag, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. See how the horses would pull the caissons with the cannons. Or the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. The rampart is the wall of the fort. Look at the flag billowing in the air. It's really streaming. And the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air. That really looks like dawn early in the morning, doesn't it? Gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? It sure does. The Star-Spangled Banner has 4 verses. The other 3 verses are in this book, so maybe in a different video I will show you and read to you about those verses. But for now, this is verse 1. Sing it proudly. And remember, anytime you hear it or sing it, you remember to stand up. It's a tradition. And remove your hat. And if you want, place your hand over your heart. Thank you very much. Enjoy the day.